What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heroes Power Hour, one of my favorite parts of the week. It's so good to have you here. Don't know how you got here, whether it's on iTunes or YouTube or your buddy's RSS feed on his tablet or whatever. Don't care how that happened. I'm just glad that you're here. I'm your host, Twiz, and with me is the crew, the BlizzPro crew, as it were. I am never alone on this show, and that's one of the things that I love the most. I get to play as a team, big family, all as well. So please allow me to make just a few minor introductions, if you don't mind. First and foremost, on the far left-hand side of the screen, you will see the co-founder of BlizzPro. He can keep a beat with no metronome. It's Eldorian. Welcome back, my friend.
Hey, Twiz. Good to be here.
It's good.
I had a good story to tell about, like, what I saw this morning with the garbage man and everything, and I was going to tie it together with Heroes, but then I forgot what it was. But I'll just tell you, it ended with taking out the trash and Jimmy. So.
Okay. That's like a Hallmark movie waiting to happen in itself, right there.
Wait, was the trash the Lost Vikings?
Oh, it will be, and we are going to get to that. Ouch. Directly across the screen from him is the man who's loving every little bit of Heroes of the Storm that's coming out right now. It is the Westmarch Workshop Demon Slaying 9-Ball Gamer. Hello, my friend.
What's going on? Oh my god. Diablo and Heroes, Diablo and Diablo. The only thing I'm missing is Diablo and WoW, but I don't have to bring up my subscription over there again, so thank goodness.
It's the little things, dude, that mean the most. So, just below him is the one and only, the 3 Viking wrecking crew, or at least for a little while longer, Mr. DJ Tyrant. Hi, buddy.
Hello, everybody.
It's so
good to be back for the second week in a row.
Yeah, exactly. He's slowly working his way into permanent co-host status. So,
exactly.
Your hair is you got your fighting hair on tonight, dude.
It's a mess, man.
You got your fighting hair
long day.
on. I hear you. Nothing wrong there. So, and right next to him is BlizzPro Heroes of the Storm article and video contributor, the shot caller, the guy who he's the spit gum and glue of what we're doing on the field. It's Mr. Balrog Fan. Hi, buddy.
Hey, what's going on tonight?
Not much, dude. Good to have you back. It's good to see your face, and you have your fighting hair as well, I see.
Yes, this is my I don't know what this is. My 300 hair.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen that movie. Is that correct?
Sure.
This is the Nexus.
Yes. That
Halfway
works.
through the show, you're just going to see him just rip off his shirt. And he's got
Absolutely.
these fat abs and everything.
Actually, you're gonna see him like standing in the window with his butt cheeks hanging out, leaning up against the door, watching the moon.
That is probably more accurate.
Oh my god, way more fun than we should be having here on the Power Hour. But couple of quick things before, guys. We have an amazing show here for you. I want to mention, if you're watching this for the very first time, there are 2 parts to the show, okay? The first part is kind of a news and discussion. We're talking about things that are happening in the Nexus and, you know, what's going on, what to expect, what they're changing, what we like, what we don't like. It's more of the podcasty feel. That is uploaded to iTunes. The second part is, it's also uploaded to YouTube. The second part is our gameplay, where we dive into the Nexus and we work on team comps and stuff like that. And tonight we are playing the PTR and we are playing the new Diablo map. So stick around for that, or if you're watching this on the download, go to YouTube and watch that as well. So assuming that everything on the PTR works the day that it launched, you know, I mean, what could go wrong? We should be playing that new Diablo map tonight for you at home to see. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be an awesome time. So before that, a couple of quick announcements, okay? All of these names on this box, these boxes that we're all in, okay, these are our Twitter handles. If you guys want to follow us and talk about anything, we all have our expertises in certain areas. Feel free to do that. Or you can follow at Heroes Power Hour to get all your news shows. And on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, we are live on twitch.tv/BlizzPro. Would love to see you in the chat room, okay? And last but certainly not least, we do have a Patreon account. There are some things that are behind the scenes that cost money and stuff like that. If you like what we're doing, if you like what we're putting out, and you want to help keep the show going and help support everything like that, go to patreon.com/heroespowerhour. And you can pledge just $1. Even $1 goes a long way, guys. You wouldn't even believe. So you can head on over there to support the show if you so desire. So, guys, First things first. The PTR is here. It is here and it is in full swing. Who's excited? You guys excited? I'm excited.
I think we're all excited.
Yeah.
Pretty excited.
To be honest.
Just looking at DJ Tyrant's hair, I mean, he is excited. He is like, he's at Mach 12 right now, just sitting still.
I am super excited, but behind a gate.
Yeah.
All my heroes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We may as well break that news. Okay. So we downloaded the PTR. Everybody can download the PTR if they want, I'm pretty sure. And we're like, okay, let's go in and jump on our heroes and everything. We forgot that our accounts aren't at level 30 and whatever. We have all of our tunes, but they're all level 1 and they are all gated, which means you don't have access to, like, you have access to the first 2 tiers or the first 2 talent picks until you hit level 5, or is it 4? 4. At level 4, everything unlocks and whatever. So we realized that just before the show, and that was kind of like, not so cool. I mean, you should be able to, I don't know. Anyways, I think that was
It's just
unintentional.
Yeah, it's a little
but-
bummer that our player level account just didn't get ported over too.
Yeah, hopefully, they'll be able to do it. I'm glad that we were able to at least keep our heroes and the skins and such that we purchased.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll either make it so the hero levels themselves copy over, or
Just to give everybody level 40.
yeah, that would be a great idea.
This is funny. I can actually select my my heroic skin.
Yeah, you can get your master skins in
Master
here,
skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
but you don't have anything but the first color variation.
That's so funny.
It's like wiping before you poop. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, God. So, anyway, so there's a bit of good news. If you're going to jump into the PTR, get ready to start at level 1. Okay? It is what it is. And if you have your stim pack does carry over. If you have a stim pack going, it does carry over. So, you'll be blasting up to level 4 in no time flat. So, okay, with the PTR, what's on the PTR? Okay, first and foremost, the Eternal Conflict. We're going to talk a little bit. That's all this new Diablo stuff that's coming out. I'm going to let Nineball, since, I mean, he knows a little bit about Diablo. Dude, break it down for us. What's going on with this Eternal Conflict in the PTR? How is this all working, and what is it that we're actually testing?
All right, well, we've talked about it on the past couple episodes, the Eternal Conflict. This is the first kind of big patch for heroes since launch, and it's all Diablo. The new heroes, new maps, everything. This is just the beginning, and on the PTR what we have right now is we get to test the new battleground, the Battlefield of Eternity. And it is kind of like a half heaven, half hell, kind of really getting into that Diablo theme. And in it, you have to go through... it's different from a lot of the other ones, I guess, except for Cursed Mines, because it's only 2 lanes, whereas most of the others are 3. But in the center, where your third lane normally is, you'll see 2 gigantic immortals, 1 angel, 1 demon, going and fighting it out. Periodically throughout the match, the mechanic of the map is that you'll be able to engage and help out your immortal fight the other one. So you can kind of try and stop the enemy team from attacking yours while attacking the enemy team's immortal. And then that will kind of shift, and whichever one wins will come and start blasting down one of the lanes. Whichever is I believe it's the least pushed lane. So if you have the forts down on one side, it will go and pop up on the other to go and push that one down.
Very good. Very good. Anybody got anything else to... I mean, that was kind of verbatim. That was a little bit, spot on.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
That was very spot on.
Yeah. I mean, they changed up some of the mercenaries. Instead of having the bruisers and the siege giants, you've got the fallen shaman, which will go around and it's got like a pack of hounds that follow them, and he'll res them as they die. So if you don't actually kill the shaman, the mercenary pack will just continue to be going. And then you have the Khazra, which they're basically like the siege giants, as they are a ranged attack. But it's, I guess, just slightly different.
Yeah, one
Well,
of the
there's
cool
3
things...
of each of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say there's 3 of each of them, Siege and Bruiser. Sorry, there were dogs barking if I'm saying this again, but the summoner, he summons the dogs over and over again until you kill the summoner, so you have to target him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the cool things about this map, though, is that, or that they're doing, is like the first week, basically, to allow people. Because one of the problems I had is they bring out a new map, you may not see it for like a week because it doesn't end up hitting in your rotation. So what they're doing is they're limiting like the map pool for the first week or so, so that you have more of a chance to see this map in the first week and actually get to play it and try it out. And then going forward, once they start adding more and more maps, they're going to basically have map pools, kind of like what they do in StarCraft, the StarCraft seasons, where you might have 5 maps for that season. And so those are the 5 maps that you might see for, 2 months or a month or something like that.
Sure.
And then they'll rotate the map pool around.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about, just because that changes a lot of the strategies in StarCraft, and that'll definitely change strategies here. If when there's different map pools, we'll probably see different warriors come up in the meta, stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting. But yeah, this is a really cool patch so far.
It's the way to give you the most specific variety, if that makes any sense.
I'm super excited for the Battlefield of Eternity, but I think I'm almost as excited for the fact that Dragonshire is not going to be able to be played in quick match until July 7th.
Yeah.
And that makes me so excited. I'm so happy.
And we all breathe a sigh of relief.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and they're gonna come out with a new Diablo-themed battleground still that they haven't announced yet, as well. They did.
I didn't even know about that.
Yep, it's going to come out before this event ends. We don't know what it is, but it'll be another Diablo-themed
If it's not that Rainbow Unicorn Land, I'm punching out.
That
Either
would be
that
amazing.
or the gold, the goblin area.
Oh yeah. I'm all in with that. And it's funny.
Cow level or riot.
Cow level or
Yeah, it's like I was about to say. There's 2 things in order to just complete it and cap the Diablo event. It either has to be the cow level or Tristram. You just can't do a Diablo thing without having one of those.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the minions are cows. Oh my, I'd love it.
Speaking of that treasure goblin, though, we'd gotten some new information about how that mechanic's going to work. So, do one of you guys know a little
I
bit
actually
about that?
saw it in
I can
the
take it.
game earlier.
Yeah.
You saw it in the game?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so it's-
'cause
okay, so it's in the
I played a little bit on the PTR earlier. Basically, it dies really quick. It's very easy to. It died so quickly, I didn't get to see it yet. Like, I just know it got killed. And basically, you get like a side quest that doesn't actually take up a spot in your daily quest, and it'll pop up every day, and you get 100 gold as long as somebody kills them. But it's super easy.
Wow, that's hilarious. You know what's funny is how many times have you guys been in the middle of a map or whatever, and then all you see is red bars surrounding you, and you are just hosed. That's how the treasure goblin feels.
Yeah.
I can just see the treasure goblin boss is like, yeah, I need you to go up top there.
What would be funny is if they ever released a treasure goblin hero that you can play.
That would be sweet.
Yeah,
That would
and
be
then
sweet.
I would love that.
Tossing gold coins for your auto attack and
Yeah,
oh god.
but
But the
just
gamble.
imagine the trigger that being one of those heroes could then proceed as all your allies start roaming around you real quick. Like, oh wait, never mind, can't kill you.
I'm still, you know what? I am still a huge fan of the idea, and we talked about this on last week's episode. I am still a huge fan of the idea that I'd love to see him running around the map at random. So that way, people are like, ooh, do I push the lane or do I get greedy?
Do I get my 100 gold?
Yeah. I mean, because that's a game swear or whatever. I mean, that kind of thing is what causes in-game divorces, I'm here to tell you.
Right.
You did what?
He will be so mad.
We had no soak in bot and you're out. Oh man, it would be beautiful. It'd be hilarious. Oh my god. So
yeah, all this stuff comes out next week, along with the Butcher, which excites me.
Yes. Yes.
But no Butcher on PTR.
No Butcher on PTR.
So sad.
It makes sense, though. I mean, if we all logged on right now, everybody would pick the Butcher. And queue times are kind of long in this as it is. And If the butcher was accessible, everybody would be trying to pick him, so you'd just be sitting there for like 2 hours waiting somebody to test Brightwing.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So I see a couple of dates here. Butcher and the new map will release on June 30th. Leoric will probably release the 21st of July, and the Monk 3 weeks after that. Is that confirmation, or is that just
the Monk
skepticism? What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, the Monk is just it's what we think. If they go on their 3-week plan, and that's the Monk was the next one that was announced after Leoric, so it would make kind of sense that the Monk would come after that.
Sure. Okay, well, we will buckle in and hold tight, and you guys make sure you're tuning into the show, because as soon as it's released, we gonna talk about it. That's the beauty of doing a show on Tuesday. Everything launches. It's also the curse of doing everything on Tuesday, is because if it falls apart, we are hosed. So, anyways, we've been talking about heroes, guys. We've been talking about the changes and, you know, when they're getting released and everything like that. But there is some stuff going on with the heroes that already exist. Some major changes. And it's Blizzard doing the balancing act. And we're going to talk a bit about some of these changes that are coming to some of these heroes. One of the things that irks me a little bit is with some of these major changes, why'd you release the game and now you're going to completely change some of these heroes? You know? I mean, I understand things are going to have to get tweaked as you release new heroes, but some of these guys are getting overhauls, and I mean some of it's like they're nerfing some of these things to the ground and buffing some of these things to oblivion, and it's like, holy cow, that feels like a beta move, not a released game move. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Am I just being unrealistic? Or
I think personally, because it's a MOBA, I mean, this is pretty par for the course for these style of games.
Okay, and that's good to know, because this is my first MOBA. I wouldn't know that.
And this happens all the time in Dota and League, and their respective subreddits go into a fiery rage anytime there's any changes.
Yeah.
There's always two camps: the people that played the hero that got nerfed and are crying the foul, and then there's the people that hated the hero that got nerfed and said, finally.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Camp Reasonable, though. I mean, I played Brightwing, but she needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
Dude, you were complaining so much last night.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm tired of her getting away. She should die. She should not be double healing herself. It's ridiculous. She doesn't die when she should. She gets away. Their team resets. They come back full. They stomp you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. We had that happen multiple times last night.
So with these heroes that are changing, the things that are being altered, are these changes effective in the PTR right now as we speak?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys at home can get ready for these changes that we're going to discuss. Okay, let's break down and talk about some of these heroes. Actually, Balrog, do you want to kind of tackle some of these changes, or actually you and Eldorian can kind of tag team it?
I'll go over a few of them, and yeah. So the first change that I wanted to quickly talk about, though, was Illidan, and Metamorphosis is getting nerfed to the ground. So if you ever got tired of Illidan just being a broken DPS and just blasting you with that Metamorphosis, like it's getting nerfed. Like the damage output on that is getting nerfed big time. Like Hunt is actually going to be
the go-to,
reasonable to take now, and I'm no longer going to get yelled at when I decide to take it. So.
Do you have some numbers?
Just the initial, like overall, the initial damage is basically 25% of what it was, and the scaling is almost 10% of what it was. It's huge numbers.
Yeah. It was like 200 and some odd damage plus what per level?
10 per level.
Well,
plus 10 per level.
Now it's 20 and then 4 per level.
So it went from 200 and some odd damage plus 10 per level to 20 plus 4 damage per level. So that's significant.
And it's not even just that, it's the radius of the ability was reduced by 25%, so you're going to catch less people. So you're doing less damage, you're going to be doing less damage to the group, and because it's a smaller area and it gives people more of an opportunity to get out, your HP bonus is going to be less as a result.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out really quickly, if you're watching live, Snuggy actually posted the link to the patch notes
in the chat
that
room.
are on the site in the chat room.
Okay. Yeah. Pays to be in the BlizzPro chat room.
Yeah, come join us live. It's awesome.
So the next change that they're doing, and Charlie's going to be excited about this, is Anubarik is getting a nerf to his beetles in Locust Swarm. And that wasn't, I don't believe, data mine to begin with, but it was something that they talked about in their blog today.
Yeah, because I remember us talking about the data mine changes, and Charlie was like, "What? No changes to Nubarak? This is an outrage."
I am so happy. I just found this out live on the show, and I couldn't be happier. That is crazy.
That's so funny.
Wow. Yeah, Nubarak is I got him, and everybody loves him, and I want to play him, and I never play him. Never have played him. But they apparently, what made him so popular was the fact that they fixed the beetles and the locust swarm and everything, and now they're going to nerf it. So it's so scary. I don't know. You don't know what it's going to do.
They just made it more, because what happened was it used to be the beetles were really dumb, and they made the beetles smart. But once the beetles became smart, they were too strong. So they needed to be smart, but a little less strong.
Yeah. And then they got really heavy into drugs, and it just got weird. I know what you mean.
Things just got weird.
They started chasing dragons.
Exactly.
Licking toads.
Yellow submarines. I don't know. So, now, you guys know them. You guys love them. It's the Lost Vikings. And they are getting some major changes.
Some serious changes, yeah.
So,
I'm actually looking through the talents right now, because this is my first... being able to look at the talents in-game is a lot easier for me than just on a web page. But it seems like a lot of heroes are not having regen master anymore. I don't know if all of them are getting removed, but them and Malfurion got that removed. Viking bribery is now a level 1 talent, and like the other bribes, it lets you bribe mercenary camps. You can get up to 100, and it's 40 per mercenary to bribe them.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You got to kill 100 minions before... you got to kill 40 minions before you get one bribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
But if you split them and you're all in 3 lanes, you should get them pretty quickly.
And that forces you to split them.
Yeah. And also another new talent is explosive attacks, which I don't want to go through all of these, but like the level 1 talents are all completely different pretty much. But yeah, Balog's splash damage against non-heroic enemies is increased by 100%. So that's some serious lane push right there.
Okay.
And then the Q and W all got moved around. I thought they had gotten rid of the jump based off the data mine stuff, but they did not. Spin to win.
Like you get to pick now?
Yeah, at 7, spin to win or Norse Force. So it's spin to win, which is what we know and love as the Q ability for the Vikings. And Norse Force got moved from, I think, 16? But now it's the shield
to
count.
7.
So 7. But you're now forced to choose between spin to win and the shield. You can't have both. Longboat raid got nerfed. It does less damage, I think, but it's a longer duration. Duration. Not a surprise there.
Okay.
No changes to play again. I still don't see that getting used too much.
They did buff the sequels though. The when you buff it, 50% death timer reduction when you take the play again buff at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like that. Let's see. The checkpoint reach. 10 seconds after using play again, any dead Viking are revived and summoned again, all healed to full. There's the sequel, which reduces the death timer by 50% for everybody. So,
I see. Yeah.
Yeah. The 20 talents are a little different.
My question on these changes, though, is does it really affect how you're going to play the Vikings? Because the Vikings' whole thing is to be able to split up into lanes, be able to push, gain XP, and then their boat was really strong. So the boat's going to become weaker. But they're still going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting having spin to win later in the game. Also, there's a couple of their talents on there that you could argue for as well, because there's mercenary lords as well. So I mean, they could become just a pushing hero at this point.
Sure. And you know what? I can't help but wonder if, like, take Abathur, for example. You can go one of two routes with him. You can either go with the hat build, or you can go with the Locust, I'm pushing the snot out of your lane build. And I kind of wonder if maybe the Vikings, if that's how this is going to align. I can split them, or I can keep them together, and I've got a talent path to go down for both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't play the Vikings.
Play with it, see how it goes.
Okay, give it a whirl. So let's talk about Brightwing. We were talking about how broken she was before, and what have they done to fix her up? So, and I use
they've
fix
taken away
so loosely.
A lot of her talents. They've taken away Envenom, Promote, Scouting Drone, Protective Shield, Mule, and Sprint. So she lost a lot of her utility right there.
Yeah. She doesn't heal anymore. She can't teleport with Z. She's
actually a lane minion now.
Yeah, she's not even a dragon anymore. She's kind of, I don't know. So
yeah, they did a lot to her though. I mean, overall, I don't want to get into this because it's very wordy and it's a lot of numbers and everything. But basically, they made Polymorph do no damage, and it just has increased the duration is reduced, and it also slows the target's movement speed by 20% now. So it can't really cause people to die anymore from the initial cast of it, but it serves its purpose still, but everything else is just really down overall.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, when they take away talents like that, they're taking away the normal play style, and it seems to me like Brightwing always had a fairly cookie cutter build. Am I right?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there was some deviation at 13, and that was about it. Some people liked Envenom, some people liked Protective Shield. Now people get neither. So
yeah, and I think
interesting.
I think Blizzard doesn't like that. I think they don't like that, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. But you know what, DJ Tyrant, there's some good news.
There's some really good news.
Some good news. Your buddy Malfurion is getting a little bit of a buff.
Dude, I think it's more than a little bit. Regrowth, the mana cost is being reduced while the healing is being increased, which blows my mind.
Okay, so fatter heals for less mana. I'm a fan.
Bigger heals for less mana. And he got some minor talent reworking. Like I was saying, Regen Master is gone. But even, what's it called? Innervate got buffed as well. And on the first talent, you can reduce the Innervate cooldown, which is just that's
huge.
Insane.
That's huge.
Exciting.
That is
really
huge.
exciting.
So
that's
exciting.
Good.
But yeah, other than that, it was basically some really basic talent changes. No healing ward, so I don't have to pick that piece of crap anymore. Oh, and the big one is cleanse at level 7. That's a huge deal, and I think this takes him to probably the best support in the game right now.
Or close to it.
Wow.
Close to it. Absolutely.
Some big words.
They are. They are. I mean, you know what, though? He sat the sidelines, and that comes from a bursty meta. This is a very bursty meta. It's get together, nuke, get out. And that's that's how this works, and Malfurion just couldn't keep up with that. So
well, and the reason I say that is because he wasn't like bad before. He was just not the best, and he's getting essentially all buffs this patch.
Okay. Okay. So we'll see a little bit more of him. Rhaegar's going through some major changes as well. I have not heard or seen anything about Rhaegar. What are they doing with this guy?
I love what they've done to him, especially Shadow Wolf. Shadow Wolf is moving to level 4, and the stealth lasts for 4 seconds. I played against him earlier, and he was so hard to kill.
What is Shadow Wolf? What does it do?
Basically, when he enters his Shadow Wolf mount form, he goes stealth now.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't a talent choice, really, because at 7, you were pretty much always locked into another talent choice there. But now, I mean, 4 seconds of stealth is huge at level 4.
Absolutely.
And they did a lot to Rhaegar, but I mean, I think overall he got a lot of buffs too. I mean, with Cleanse being added at 7, that's amazing for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, but mainly the main thing I saw was that Shadow Wolf. I mean, he was really hard to get to.
Okay. Well, we will bring more to you as we continue to explore the PTR. Again, it launched like 20 minutes ago. So we're fresh into this just as much as you guys are watching at home. Sylvanas. Okay, guys, this is a cool thing. All right, I'm pretty stoked about this. Sylvanas, everybody always went with Hungering Arrow. Is that it? Or what was... Or no. Silencing
Arrow,
whatever it is. Yeah, that was the standard Sylvanas alt. And
Wailing Arrow.
Wailing Arrow, thank you.
I always call it Silencing Arrow because that's what it does.
That's what it does, yeah.
That's the important thing.
Yep.
But what they've done is they've kind of reworked Possession to make it a little bit more appealing. And from what I'm gathering, you kind of get stacks. And I don't know how it is that you get stacks. We can talk about it here in a second. But at 7 stacks, you can take an entire minion wave and control them and send them back the other direction. How did any intel on these stacks?
So yeah, you actually start out with that. That is, you get 7 stacks to right off the bat, basically on that. So you can because before you can just do 1 minion at a time, and it was ridiculous because by the time, especially later levels, by the time you were to use it, you can just wipe through those minion waves like no other. Now you can basically grab a whole minion wave whenever and have it push. So it's... I mean, they said that this Possession was the least chosen ultimate in the game. And there's a reason for that. Unfortunately, even with these changes, even though it makes it a little more viable, it will... And even with them like nerfing Wailing Arrow a bit, it is probably still going to be the least picked ultimate. Because I don't think it's going to be... I mean, grabbing minion waves is not that appealing after level 10.
That and the utility of the silence in the team fight regularly. I'm never like, oh, look at the damage on Wailing Arrow. I'm like, look, that entire team is silence. Thank you, Wailing Arrow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. But again, that comes from the bursty meta. Everybody get in, burn, 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 get out. And that's how it is. And that Silencing Arrow makes it a complete and total 180. So, or the Wailing Arrow. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be corrected from now on about that. But anyway, so that's a thing that they're working on, and more to come on that. Stay tuned. Last but not least, Blood for Blood and Envenom are getting a little bit of the old nerf stick tossed at them. Damage reduction, I would take it.
Yeah, because if you had multiple heroes with any of those, you literally could just lock on the target and instantly kill them.
Yeah, like triple Envenom, 1 target, and it's over with.
Yeah, Blood for Blood, I think, is getting a damage reduction, and it no longer slows the target either.
The heal amount is going up, though, as well.
Yeah, so you'll get more overall healing. Yeah, you'll get, instead of just being the 15% of their health, you'll get the 10% that then is doubled, so you get 20% healing. So you lost damage, more survivability.
And in Venom,
even though no one took it for that.
Right, in Venom, it's doing the same amount of damage, but it's over a longer period of time. So they doubled the amount of time that the damage can be hit.
I've only played one. Well, I mean, I've only really fallen in love with one character where Blood for Blood was the choice, and that was Asmodan. And I never ever once was like, oh my god, thank God for Blood. You know, I mean, it never really helped me out of too many pinches. You know,
it's definitely an offensive talent.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, the slow basically is what I'm talking about. You know, it's like I'm going to steal your health and I'm going to slow you, so I have some escapability, which is nice with Asmodan because on a scale of 1 to 10, he has escapability of -400. So.
A couple of things I wanted to add real quick that weren't in the data mine that are in the official patch. Basically, Murky, his Living the Dream initial power is going down from 10 to 5, which is going to help a lot with how much of a pain he is.
Right.
And then characters like Jaina, Kerrigan, and Tychus, you can retarget their their Ultralisk or their Water Elemental or their Draken Laser Drill after you've died now, which was always a pet peeve of mine, but I never really thought they'd change it.
So happy that's game fixed.
Wow.
And they did fix the Brightwing bug, so she will no longer double heal herself.
Okay. Fair enough. So you know what? Again, guys, these are all brand new things that we are just learning right now, just to give you a heads up of what to expect in case you log into Brightwing on PTR day number 1 and you're like, where's all my stuff at? And why am I level 1? You know, that's why. So we're going to talk more about our experiences in the PTR as the weeks continue and stuff like that. So stay tuned here to the Heroes Power Hour. Now, as far as the news goes and everything, this is a news source. Another major news source that you guys need to be paying attention to is heroes.blizzpro.com. We have articles daily coming out about what's going on in the Nexus and changes and patch notes and stuff like that. It's a quick read. It gives you the down and dirty of everything that you need to know without having to sift through boring stuff. Great use of information. One of the articles that's on there, I believe, was written by Alebeard. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been putting out some really good stuff lately.
He has been on point. I am not even lying. He wrote an article, and I'm going to let you guys expand on this because you're going to do so much better of a job than I am. But it's all about the importance of level advantage and go. I mean, everybody knows level advantage is huge. You know, being able to put out more damage at higher levels, having access to more talent sooner than the other team is a huge thing. But he really breaks it down a little bit more. What were some of the strong points from that article?
Yeah, well, he actually put some numbers behind level advantage. Like, you know, he says, like, the first thing that just kind of surprised me was the team that reaches level 4 first wins 66% of the time.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Repeating, of course.
Repeating, of course. But he said he was surprised because he thought that would be a higher number. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Like, when you hit level 4, do you feel like if the other team is ahead of you and gets those level 4 talents before you, like, do you feel like you're going to lose that game? Or if you're ahead, you feel like you're going to win that game?
I really don't.
I think it depends on your team. Like, if you're going solo queue and they're just running around playing stupid, running into people who have a talent on you, then yeah, it really hurts. But, I mean, if you got a coordinated team that goes, okay, they got 4, we got to give up this objective, let's get our lane soak, it's not as big of a deal.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with that. Like, it just really surprised me that level advantage was that big of a deal early on. But the number goes up the later the game gets, as you would probably expect. That the team that reaches level 10 first wins 79% of the time. Now, would you guys agree with that? Have you seen, if you hit level 10, do you feel like you have a way better chance of winning?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah,
Go ahead, guys.
Because then you have map presence, and you're able to initiate team fights, and if they're not a smart team and they decide to team fight you while they don't have heroics, you generally are just going to rip them apart.
You have to leverage that level 10 though. You have to use that level 10 when you have it before them, and either if they're going to just run away and soak, what you have to do is push down a lane, or go ahead and grab the major objective that's going on at that point. If you don't leverage that level 10, you're not going to get much out of it.
Yeah. So would you guys agree then that it is more important when you're playing to go ahead and continue getting that experience as much as possible to hit that level 10 before the other team, and maybe perchance ignore an objective piece to get that advantage?
I think if you're doing everything right and you're soaking as much XP as you can and not, putting yourself in bad situations to get picked off and stuff like that, if you're doing everything right and they go on a ganking spree or whatever, you're going to hit level 10 before they do anyways. You know what I mean? If you're doing things, if you're working together as a well-oiled machine to soak that XP and not play dumb, but go after a good target when you got a chance, you're going to do that anyways.
I totally agree, and it all depends. Like, I don't know. It depends on the map. It varies from map to map too. Like in Cursed Hollow, it's a fine line to walk. You don't want to just give up free tributes, but you can have some, like 1 or 2 person go and delay the tribute so they don't just grab them automatically, and it gives you more time to soak. So It's really map dependent on what you want to do, and I mean, but getting experience is the most important thing in this game, and do not let anyone tell you different.
Yes, exactly. And okay, so there's some things that you guys, just a little for the new players out there. There's a couple of things you should know as far as experience goes. Number 1, you get experience from killing minion waves. You get experience from killing towers. You get experience from killing gates. You get experience from killing heroes. You do not get experience for killing the walls on either side of the towers. You don't get experience from killing, or from getting camps, correct? Or do you? I don't think you do. No, I don't think you do. I don't think you get XP for killing
I missed
camps.
the question. I'm sorry.
Do you get XP from killing camps? From taking camps?
No, I don't believe so.
No. So that's one of those things that as a new player you need to. I mean, I've watched these poor Rainers and these
gates
poor
do not give experience either.
Yeah, gates don't give experience, and those are the things that are on the outsides of the towers. The only way you'd ever kill them is if you wanted more mobility, but usually the cannon and the main gate is down by the time you get to that point anyway, so you shouldn't need to kill them. But what else does not give you XP? I think that's
healing wells.
Yep, healing wells, enemy pets.
Yeah,
standing in your base. Yeah.
Yep, standing in your base does not give you XP.
Standing in your base, being a keyboard warrior and complaining about the game does not get you XP.
No, it does not. It does not. Absolutely
If it
not.
did, I know a lot of players that would be really good at this game.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they'd be pros, or they wouldn't have left League of Legends. So
Element Zero says denying vision does not give you experience.
yes, denying vision. Well played, dear.
I
Well
thought
played.
that dying for vision gave you XP.
No, it gives the other team XP.
Oh, that's
the,
I always get that mixed up.
There's a kind of yeah, exactly. So, anyways, guys, heroes.blizzpro.com. This is just one of the few great articles that gives you good information, raw numbers. I mean, kind of eye-opening stuff like that. So make sure you're checking that out.
There's one more thing.
Yes.
That I wanted to say. One more stat. The team that reaches level 20 first wins 87% of the time. This one surprises me because I thought that number would be higher. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
That's one of those ones that you kind of have to go through and get a breakdown. Like if they hit this is taking into effect not just the games where it's they hit 20 when I'm 19. This is the games where they hit 20 and we're still 16. Those ones where you're 4 or 5 levels behind and it's just a crap fest. Of that your team's just sucking or the other one just kind of snowballed into an unstoppable monster.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I mean, how much space... you have to look at how much space is between... How much level gap does there have to be when you hit level 20 versus what the other team is at? I mean, if they're at the fresh start of level 19 or halfway through 19 or whatever, what is that percentage? I don't think it really matters at that point in time because a couple of things that could be going on. Your team could be at level 20. The other team could be just hitting 19 or a little over or whatever, but you look at the map and the other team has complete control over the map because you don't get XP from, taking siege camps or anything like that. They could have a huge advantage map-wise instead of level-wise only because they took advantage of, getting bruisers and whatever, just keeping control of the lanes. And those are things that don't give you XP. So... Not keeping control of lanes. Keeping control of lanes does give you XP because of the minion waves, but I'm pretty much strictly talking about camps. And boss. Boss does not give you XP either. So you could have camps and boss and everything and still be down a level. They could be level 20, you could be level 19, and you could still win that game. Does that make sense?
I thought killing camps gave you XP.
We just had this conversation, Jimmy. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, a lot of the times, though, that it works the other way, because the team that has control of objectives or camps and stuff is normally the one that's further ahead because they've had the lane presence. They gained the level advantage early on. They're able to go through and apply the pressure that the other team has to react to. And while they're going through and clearing the bruiser wave in mid, the other team is now going through and grabbing boss, and then going and grabbing their siege, and just constantly going and hitting different things that the other team has to deal with while they're destroying towers and getting XP, or winning team fights and getting XP. But I think, it's like I would like to see kind of like the breakdown of that information of like, the whole 80+% of teams that reach level 20 win, or the teams that hit level 20 first win. What is the actual level spread in the majority of those games, and on what maps?
Yeah, that's true. I also feel like level 20 is like, if you hit it, even if the other team is like level 19 or even level 18 and you're level 20, I still feel like there's that whole potential of swinging momentum at that point. Depending on how you were doing, how you are positioned as opposed to the other team could feel like they're way ahead and play carelessly, and then throw the game. We've seen that before. We've seen it. We've seen it in the pro matches.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna. Snuggy in the chat room is saying camps do give XP. Minions give a little. Capping.
He's usually on it too, and I will defer to him here because I'm kind of unsure now that I'm thinking about it. I was under the impression that they didn't, but I could be totally wrong about that.
Because I know in the past I've gone and taken a camp wanting to see how much XP, because our team was behind, and it's like, how much XP am I going to get out of this for doing this? How much is it worth the gamble? And I remember looking at my XP bar as soon as we killed that camp, and it didn't move. So, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it does, and maybe I just missed the increase or something like that. But, we'll find out. We're going to play.
Yeah, I wasn't 100% sure, so I couldn't answer one way or the other.
So, okay, yeah, you know what? We'll experiment and we'll find out. It's just one of those things that it's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I feel like I should have known that.
One final thing about this article, too. I just want to say, like, while all these numbers are staggering and having level advantage is important, it is not a good idea to give up it or use this article as citing for giving up and saying, we didn't have a chance anyways, they beat us to this level, because you can always come back. And if you don't believe that, go ahead and look at our Spider Queen match about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, watch our last 2 weeks of gameplay.
The last 2 weeks. Oh my god. All right, guys. All right. So, okay. Case closed. You need to be going to heroes.blizzpro.com, just checking out some of these articles. Just, give some food for thought and make you the man when you're playing in front of your friends and dropping numbers and dropping bombs and talking about XP that either does or does not exist by killing camps. So, all right. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the hero breakdown, guys. Every week we give you a new hero breakdown where we talk about a good talent build and why we go with these talents, some of the other options, but why some of them are labeled as quote-unquote the best. And Balrog fan walks us through that. So I think we're going to go with Tassadar this week. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Glad I didn't get any fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I checked that before I put him in.
That's one of the things
that would have been upsetting.
It would have been like the Rainer week.
Right.
Oh, God. All right, so I want to look at this. I don't have the master skin unlocked for him.
Huh.
It's not unlocked. No, it's locked. I got that
No,
one,
you
though.
have the jet skin for him. You don't have the master skin for Tassadar.
Oh, I thought you guys said in the PTR.
If you own the master skin in the regular game, it's in the PTR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were saying all the ones that all the master skins we had purchased carried over, even though they're level 1.
I gotcha. Also, guys, just triple check with this being the PTR. Triple check for me the stream and make sure that everything looks right.
It looks good.
Okay, thank you. How's my hair? No, how's your hair? Okay, anyways. So
Disaster.
Let's talk about, again, here we are, level 1, guys. Everything is kind of is gated. So we're gonna have to work through this a little bit. But let's talk about Tassadar. Balrog, give us the breakdown, brother.
Okay, I'm going to skip over the abilities for the most part, just go really quick. You know, he has Oracle. It's his trait. Remember to activate it. That's the common mistake that Tassadar players make. They forget about Oracle. Use it. It gives you vision. Use it as much as possible, and expect to use it all the time in the right spots when you are facing someone like Nova or you're facing someone like Zeratul. Think of the map as the middle of the map is all yellow. That is an area where you may want to use it. Once you go past towards the enemy side of the map, that map is all red. You want to use it as much as possible. Behind your walls, it's green. Don't bother using it. And those are your danger zones. You want to keep vision in areas where people could sneak up on you. And every chance you can, use Oracle. Why not? He has a shield, he has Psionic Storm, and he has Dimensional Shift. Very normal abilities. You know, the shield is good. It's the best shield in the game. Psionic Storm is a great AoE. Has decent damage and pretty amazing range. And Dimensional Shift is probably one of the best, if not the best, escape tools in the game.
Yep.
Both of his heroics are amazing. Archon is really good. It's really strong. It gives him all the damage he could want. Makes him a force in team fights. It turns him from low priority to highest priority, which allows your other true assassins to get in there and do some work. Force Wall is actually just amazing. It has such a low cooldown, and in certain maps it's just total lane denial or total zone denial, and can cause complete mismatches in team fights where, you know, it's suddenly a 5-on-2 and they don't have time to do anything about it. In areas like Sky Temple, if you're having a fight on the bridge and it starts to go south for the enemy team, you can wall them in and make them stay on that bridge. They have nowhere to go but through your team. And vice versa. If things are going south on a bridge fight, you can wall them away from you while your team escapes. It's just, if you're good at using Force Wall, use Force Wall, because it is not a bad choice. Level 1, I like Overload. I like to have the range on my W. It makes a big difference and allows me to play a lot safer. But I'm pretty good at managing his mana all game. I never find that I'm out of mana the whole time. So some people like Conjurer's Pursuit, though. And
I've always gone with Conjurer's Pursuit. This past week I played a bit of Tassadar, and I went with Conjurer's Pursuit, or I went with Psi Infusion, simply because I always Psionic Storm is expensive early game, man, and I found myself really mana starved. But that's just me. I use my abilities too much.
Yeah. You can make an argument for either of those three, I feel like. So
yeah, they're not
what's
bad.
Nice about this game.
Yeah. And it all depends on the playstyle. If you're like Twiz and you use your abilities a lot, then you probably want Conjurer's Pursuit as a late game investment, or you just want right off the bat. What was the other one called?
Psi Infusion.
Psi Infusion. I personally I like to be, you know, kind of stingy with when I use my Psionic Storm and making sure that it's either full wave clear or hitting a priority target for zone control. So, but I mean, you know, everybody plays different.
Sure, absolutely.
Level 4, there's a couple things here. I don't like Healing Ward. I don't like Healing Ward anymore. It used to be the go-to pick here, so I've been kind of playing around with things. Promote is really good. Not only does it make a minion strong enough to like soak a bunch of shots, you can also go ahead and shield that minion. Making it even better at soaking shots or pushing down the lane. Also, you can try to use Promote on a minion that's almost dead, and it will be restored to full health. So that's another thing you can look for. Yeah.
One of the biggest parts of this description here is the last sentence has 2 charges. You can do this to 2 minions, so there is value there.
Yeah, definitely. And it recharges fairly quickly, too. I mean, the main thing is you don't want to take Promote on a map where you're not going to be in lane very often. Like, Blackheart's Bay, I don't like using Promote very much unless my team has specifically giving me the task of staying in one lane and pushing it out. Because a lot of times you're roaming all over the place and you don't get a chance to get as much mileage out of Promote. Sure. But the talent I actually have here as the base talent that I take most times out of not is Mental Acuity. 15-second reduction on your passive trait is a lot. It allows you to keep vision on the entire fight and keep your team safe. Because the best thing you can do to keep your team safe is let them know where the enemies are. Yes. And this goes double if they have Zeratul or Nova running both, which I'm seeing a lot of nowadays. So I baseline Mental Acuity, but if I think I can get mileage out of Promote, I take that. Absolutely. And you know what? If you are a new Tassadar player and you're not using your trait, this is a good thing to discipline yourself, because you are
choosing mental acuity to force yourself to remember you sunk that talent point. You best use it to your advantage, and that's a great way to continuously use that trait to your advantage and see how much it can actually help, especially with a lot of Zeratools and Novas running around.
I wanted to answer a question from chat real quick. Alice the Creator asked about the thumbs up portrait. That's coming from their Facebook promotion for having 1 million likes on their Facebook page. So that everyone will be getting that portrait if you log in next couple weeks.
Yep. That works. Level 7. Ding, ding, ding.
I like Static Charge here. I gotta take Static Charge as much as I possibly can because it gives him a ton of damage. I mean, just a massive amount of damage on his auto attacks. It makes his auto attacks crit for a lot of damage, so you want to constantly use Static Charge or use Psionic Storm and gain mileage out of Static Charge.
Yep.
If you have to, take Mule. If you're in a map like Haunted Mines or Sky Temple or even Blackheart's Bay where you're going to need Mule, then use Mule there.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. And also, it's one of those things where when you got 4 people who are trying to push down your first gate, they all love to stand right up there next to the gate. And that's a perfect place to drop your Storm, and then it crits every auto attack after that, and you can just stand behind it and wear them down. So, cool. Level 10.
Yes, sir.
We talked in pretty in depth about Archon and Force Wall.
Yeah, that's fine. Prescience, that is amazing. It makes your E have a separate cooldown that is automatically activated, and I believe the cooldown is 45 seconds. Yes, yep. 45 seconds. So every 45 seconds, if you drop below 15% of your health, this will automatically activate for you, and it has great synergy with what I like to take on level 16. I'm getting to a point where I don't even bother with Shrink Ray unless someone on their other team is carrying so hard that I need to Shrink Ray them. If they have a Vala or they have for some reason they have a Thrall that's just beefcaking your entire team and you need Shrink Ray, then take Shrink Ray. But for the most part, Prescience it's so amazing at keeping him alive, and it segues nice into his level 16, which is Dimensional Warp. Dimensional Warp is so good. It just gives him such a strong self-heal. Yes. And with Prescience, it can activate twice. And it's 50% movement speed on top of it when you use your E. So it makes a big difference in moving around. It makes Dimensional Shift what it should be, a constant escape tool that allows you to get away, but once you take Dimensional Warp, it allows you to get right back in the fight.
Absolutely. No, that's huge, especially like you said when it gets triggered from Prescience.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it makes your hero. I mean, it makes Tassadar I don't want to say unkillable. There's no hero that's unkillable. If there was, everybody would be playing him. But
it definitely makes him a pain in the ass to kill.
Absolutely, it lets him hang out in team fights a little bit longer. So,
yes, sir. Level 20, I take Twilight Archon every time I take Archon because it just... I mean, you'll see a huge damage spike. You could be floating around 15 to 20k damage in a 20-minute match or something, and all of a sudden after 2 team fights, you're up to 45k or something obnoxious like that. It really makes a big difference. I mean, it's a flat 35 increase to his shield, his basic damage, and the range on his auto attacks, which still splash, so... It's huge, but if I took Force Wall, I'm going to take Storm Shield here.
Okay.
Tassadar is one of the best solo laner guys. If your team needs a solo laner and no one wants to step up, you should be in that role. He's good at surviving. He's good at keeping vision. He's good at doing a lot of things. He's just a very versatile guy. What he's not good at is being the team's healer. He's kind of a hybrid damage support, so you can plug him into that DPS spot. I mean, people might go, oh, double support meta is dead. I don't really consider him like a support because of what he brings. He is supporty, but he's more damagey than supporty, honestly. I mean, sure. when he's played well, you want to keep your Psionic Storms on people and then take advantage of your auto attacks. If you're not doing auto attacks enough with him, you're probably playing him wrong because he has good range on his auto attacks, and that static charge is huge. So that's pretty much Tassadar in a nutshell, I think. If you have any questions, feel free to tweet me or whatever.
Absolutely. There you go. Yeah. Well, dude, good breakdown. There's a couple of things that I did differently in my Tassadar build, but you raised some very valid points. So, very cool. Let's see here. I think that is going to be about it. You guys have anything else you want to bring up or talk about before we dive into part 2 of this show? All right, let's stick this pin.
Yes.
What's that?
No, I got nothing else.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's good.
Just giving an answer.
Keeping me on my toes, as it were. So, again,
Wrestling
guys,
Jimmy.
couple of things. Please give any of us a follow on Twitter. We are all very approachable. Go ahead and reach out, talk to us. Love to hang out and chat with you guys. You can follow at BlizzPro, at Heroes Power Hour. Also, we have a Patreon account that helps the background funding for this game happen. The stuff that we do to bring the content to you is not free, but we do it because we have a passion for it. So if you want to help us keep this rodeo going, you can head over to patreon.com/heroespowerhour and push that pledge button. And like I said, even $1 goes a very, very long way. $1 a month. That's you know what? I mean, I was going to say, like, don't get your Starbucks for my God.
That's like when you go to Starbucks, just get a grande instead of a venti.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Exactly. Arrivederci.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
I just wanted to say something real quick about the Patreon, too, is that the money that we get from this, and I know that both Twiz and I kind of opted out of this, but the money that is given will be used for like better equipment. I know Charlie's wanting a better computer so he can do better videos. Jimmy, I don't know what Jimmy needs it for. I don't know what 9ball needs it for either. Probably no, I'm joking. Just like better microphones, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, as a thing too, when we upgrade, we're going to want to travel. We want to go cover events. We want to go do things together as a group, and that would help us a lot. Do things like that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I remember what we were gonna get for Jimmy is we were gonna get him some training on how to pay attention.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's actually should be one of our goals. Once we reach
Focus
$2.6 million, we can finally afford to get Jimmy to pay attention.
Then he'll be upgraded to 2 job Jimmy.
2 jobs. Yeah, I had 2 jobs.
Yeah. He'll go up to level 2.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Hey, stick around. Make sure that if you're watching this on iTunes, that you go over to the BlizzPro YouTube channel and check it out, because we're diving into the brand new Diablo map when we come back with part 2 of this show. So you guys, absolutely, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for what you do for this show. 5-star reviews on iTunes always help us bump closer to the top when people do searches and stuff like that. You can do a search on BlizzPro, and that'll come right up. So any and everything helps. Thank you so much for what you do, and we will be right back with part 2. That rhymed, not on purpose. See ya.